Hello, folks. Welcome back after such a crazy coin flip game that last one was. We have got another game that's coming up right now. We got Pentakill Team Up Please versus Restless Leg Syndrome. I am your friendly neighborhood Shoutcaster Shargan, and joining me once again on this Shoutcaster desk is the one, the only Theracles.
It's me. I'm back. I finally got to step out of the backstage cage with all the work back there, and I get to talk to this wonderful audience and enjoy some quality League of Legends with all y'all.
Absolutely. The best sort of League of Legends is the FOF League of Legends, in my opinion. Like, just the stuff that we put out gets kind of cray-cray, kind of nuts. With this coming in right now, so we've got a nice bit of bans coming out right here. I do want to say they banned the Volibear, but not the set, so they're about 50% of the way there on the side of PTP.
Yeah, I was making a joke in Green Room about that yesterday. I was like, all right, RLS's plan every time is to first pick Volibear Flex, and then we'll see where that goes. And it usually ends up Volibear and like Orianna most of the time. So I don't know. Orianna's still not off the table, but another common thing we're seeing is the amount of Amumu first picks, especially with it being such a strong support these days.
It is a very strong support, and it does so well into so many different comps, and it just is able to do pretty much whatever you need to, especially in that early game. I do like the pickup of the Thresh, the kind of counter where it's like, fine, you want to throw a bandage at me? I'm going to just throw a hook in your face. And then the pickup of Helios as well. I've been really liking seeing the Helios just kind of showing up on the Rift. He's been doing a lot of work, and the variety, I think, is the way to describe him, that he brings to his lane is kind of interesting. And then we have a Caitlyn, potentially Braum pickup, so this might actually be an Amumu jungle instead of a support Amumu.
He has finally left the shackles of support, and we'll see him maybe making an appearance somewhere else. Top Braum, I don't know, maybe it's not out of the question. We see, because if there's one thing I learned about TLing, players, I think, thrive and enjoy just making me wrong. So that's a possibility. I do think the Helios first pick of RLS is very, very spicy.
I think that is a very, that is a spicy pick. I was just about to say, I thought you were going to say something about the Darius, because I am excited to see Anti on the Darius, because that means we're not going to be seeing his Aurelia or anything like that coming out, which is kind of interesting, because that was still left on the board. So obviously they're going for a little bit more of a front line, a little bit more of I want to say a tank comp in a sense, although it's Darius. I mean, he's tanky, but he's tanky because he just takes your life away.
Yeah, that's true. And we're starting to see the mid lane kind of being pinched here a little bit. With the Malzahar, Syndra, Orianna being taken off the table. So it's going to be interesting to see what Pengu still picks up with a lot of those coming off the table. And also Kled being banned. I know Maiden OP kind of like to play that in their match that I had to sub for them for a show match. They made me play that, so it's something that they definitely want to execute. I haven't quite seen them be able to quite get it yet, but at least him getting Yorick sounds pretty good. With his name being made in OP, that can only be a good thing, I imagine.
And then, so we have with that Yorick coming out is going to be, it's going to be interesting, because especially into this Darius, that means that anytime Darius tries to leave, it's going to be a lot of split push that's going to come out. So there's going to be a huge shove in that top wave. So so it's Kiri is going to have to make sure that she is doing a really good job with those teleports, making sure that they go to the right location. I didn't notice right off the bat that Anti wasn't in this game. That was partly why I was saying that the set was halfway there. So that's on me.
That is true. That is something I didn't quite pick up on until you said it either. So Anti being gone is going to be a very interesting factor in the way this match plays out, considering Anti is the main shot caller as well. So a lot of the macro that we've seen so good come out of RLS might not be here today. I mean, it might not, it might, because the way we're not sure if they trained on it. What's it like to play with that Anti? He's a very core member of their team.
He is a core member of their team, but based on communicating with RLS, I think that they're pretty good, and I think they'll be. I'm not sure exactly who the shot caller is whenever it's not him. It might actually be the war leader, just because of the name and being in the jungle will be a good advantage. Picking up the Akshan here, I do like the undeadness of this comp, just with the Thresh, the Akshan, and a little bit of the Moon Goddess of Helios right over there. Like, that's just kind of there's a nice little thematic going with their team that I really, really like. In the meantime, if we look over on the side of PTP, picking up that Veigar does mean that there is a timer on this game, that they basically have to end it before he gets too strong, before he gets too many of those stacks. Otherwise, RLS should be able to pull this one out.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I can't wait to see how it plays out on the Rift. And my initial impression is probably going to be that if this was a game PTP had a chance at winning, this would be a good one. But overall, I think RLS, their execution has just shown it's something that you can sleep on.
It is, yeah, it's definitely not something you can sleep on at all. We're going to be hopping now right onto the Rift, most likely just going to be getting a basic 5-man spread from both teams. I don't expect them to be engaging too hard. We might see Solvar or Graviel going for a spicier kind of bandage toss here early, because there's a potential for him to get a nice pick, especially with RLS's escape just sitting in that bush right on the edge. So if the bandage toss comes out, it is going to hit him right in the face.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility to come out. I think this Action pick is very interesting for Pengu Soul. I don't think we've seen them perform on a role like this. A lot of, control mages. So I don't think we've seen actually a lot of Action in general in the FOF scene. So I'm kind of excited more to see how that plays out, especially against Carrots, who used to be their support in season 2 and 3. Moving from the support role into a mid, he likes to play a lot more basics of the mid lane, so I think it's not a bad pick overall.
Overall, yeah, no, I like the fact that it is going to provide a secondary kind of that revive passive could actually be really, really useful, depending on how things end up playing out. It's like we've only seen him on those control mages, so nothing too crazy yet.
Yeah, and a lot of CC on the side of PTP is going to be coming through. So I especially like the cleanse pickup for Escape in this situation. Should be able to kite back. I think in most of Helios comps, she went a lot more tank, a lot more frontline. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure exactly if Thresh and Darius is what they're going to look for in that, but I mean, the amount of control that a Lily ult can provide is also something to follow up on, and just the burst overall from Action.
Nice bit of damage from Pengusul right there, trying to get some shots onto Carrots. He's able to get a decent amount just right off the bat here, but he's taking some extra engage as well, so he's going to get about half health. One thing I think is also important to point out here is we do have Carrots in the mid lane instead of in the top like usual in place of Maiden OP. So that is going to be, I'm interested to see how that actually ends up playing out versus Pengusul. He is on a less skill expression-y champ with the Veigar, so that's not going to be anything crazy coming out from him, but it's definitely a lot of the chess match, sort of just figuring out where to drop the event horizon in order to make you stun yourself, essentially.
Yeah, those are definitely possibilities. A good way to control, a team fight. So, like you said, very good pickup. I think what we're more interested in seeing, I think, is going to be the way the top lane plays out. With Anti being missing and the Yorick Maiden OP being able to play that, I think it should be very well. I think Kyrie has played one other time on this season. I think it was also top. I believe it was Scion was what they played.
She performed very well on the Scion, so I'm actually expecting a lot out of this top lane. It's going to be pretty interesting. And so right here, just tanking the minions right now because they're not too strong yet. Is able to drag Maiden a little bit almost under the tower, not quite there. They are going to be taking a lot of damage from these minions because that is a fat wave right there. Nice flash onto Maiden OP, getting a little bit spicy there, and that is going to be first blood over the RLS's War Leader, but at the same time, Graviel's already up here, so he's going to be picking up a kill. War Leader is going to get stunned under the tower. He has to flash in order to survive, and that was a 1-for-1 in the top lane, but look who's here. We've got the Akshan. He does have the passive up, the Scoundrel. He's trying to get Graviel taken down. Isn't quite able to do it, though, and so that means that the revive is not going to happen. And in the meantime, we've got a little bit of an engage right here on the bot lane. Nice hook by Demon Girl in order to catch out Solvarden. So Varden is going to go down here. They are going to get ignited. That's going to be them flashing in to get that damage off. Nice use of the I think that was Gravitum that ended up picking up the kill from Helios.
Yeah, the purple one. Yeah.
Well, I couldn't tell if it was Severum on his back or Gravitum.
Oh yeah, good point. But just a really well played. Oh, well, is that
the spicy backstop, and War Leader's just gonna kind of sit there for a second and be like, "Why you do this?"
Yeah, I think they were stuck window shopping there. So
potentially. I don't know. I like the idea. It's like, can't believe you've done this.
Okay, just some very over polite but aggressive like annoyance. Just come on,
Yes.
man. Really.
Really? You're not gonna even kill me. At least have the common courtesy to do that.
You see, now it's all coming together. That makes way more sense. You're right.
Yep. So right here in the top lane, we do have Kiri going in onto this main OP. I like this Darius pick into Yorick. It is a little tough, and it is something you have to be a little bit careful about, but I think it's going to work out well in their favor as this game progresses. We do have a Mumu kind of already set up over here by this bot side, so we're going to be looking to pick up this Windrake. Most likely, I think we're going to be seeing a Mountain Soul this game, just by the nature of what's going on here. Kiri getting caught inside of the walls, and that's going to be a lot of damage that they take. They aren't going to take tower shots, but they are going to be basically shredded apart, and they're going to have to barely walk away with their lives.
Yeah, a little bit of an overstep trying to trade into Yorick when it made the situation great.
Was that just a calm walk in there? Almost smiting that Drake out from under them. The deer, though, oh dear, getting taken out. Demon Girl's going to be bursted down as well, and that's going to be a double kill going over to the Caitlyn, which is going to kind of negate that original kill in the bot lane by the Helios. So he's going to kind of start falling behind here. We do have the Akshan ready and able to roam, but unfortunately, he's not going to be able to go in a 2v1 situation quite yet.
Yeah, that is correct. We've seen Akshan make a lot of movement, but not really get many results yet. So we're not... I don't want to say that the pick isn't working, because there's still a lot of potential to do, especially in the mid game. But so far, the mid game, it doesn't seem to be playing out exactly the way that they would.
Nice pull in under tower. Good use of the Decimate, getting a nice bit of damage off. Getting the basketball burn as he goes, tries to get lit on fire.
Yeah.
We do have the smite battle going out right there as we see that Lilia was able to pick up the Scuttle Crab right there.
Yeah, just a little bit more gold in the pocket for them all. Just playing out really well. You know, I think this Darius pick...
Graviel playing really aggressive right now.
Yeah, kind of go back for a repeat gank. We've got Warleader over off on the side, trying to make sure that nothing else comes of it. But I think the pressure that this Yorick, now at their level 6, is going to exert is going to be a very big problem for
We have the flash coming out. Lilia is already here, though, so Maiden OP is going to be going into a 2v1 situation. The smackdown comes out just off to the side. We do have the bleed that is taking Yorick's life away, but that is going to be the poor deer going down, and the Maiden's going to fall as well.
Like I said, it was going to be a problem for them, so I like that they're already addressing the pressure that's going to be coming from Yorick early, making sure that Darius gets ahead and stops that from, you know, snowballing, especially with the towers falling, putting a lot of gold in your teammates' pockets is not good for the rest of the map. So a very good rotation or early game plan now on the side of RLS to stop that.
Very good rotation, and just look how quickly the Crescendum is able to take those tower plates.
Yeah, even if you never like fight a champion with it, I think the amount of, you know, little whirlies around you, it just feels good. It makes you
Yep.
You're like, look how dope I am.
I think someone needs to make an Aphelios ASMR video, and it's just the Crescendum sound as they're attacking something.
Probably. I'm sure someone can do that. We could probably have it, our team. If you haven't seen Joshi's video that he put out for Sungo, clearly he's got some talent that we could put to work.
Yeah, that's something you can find on the Friend or Foe series Discord right there. Just the call out from the Cross Songo head of FOF onto Joshi, and then the Joshi response with the Gnar was that was something to watch.
A1 at S tier, absolutely could not agree. It's my new favorite video, despite the amount of work we put into these ideas. I think that's a good direction we could if we can't out.
Absolutely. All right, Carrots right here getting caught, getting forced back away from the wave as Warleader has decided to make an appearance. That deer just kind of roaming around the map, just prancing around, just kind of owning the river, just kind of going do-do-do-do as they go across. We do have a nice lane gank coming out here from the Amumu. He's decided to kind of like dip down just out of sight. So it's going to be really interesting if he's able to go into the alcove. We do see the hard engage right here by Demon Girl, but they don't know that Amumu's right there. Graviel going into this. He finds the bandage toss, manages to catch escape, and that is going to be Soul Varden taking down Demon Girl as he manages to hit him with the concussive blows. And that was a 3v2 that just went in the favor of PTP.
Yeah, I really like that the control from Graviel to understand, you know, that when the wave has vision is sitting in the right spots, and then getting a fight to break out. He was just in the perfect place to make that happen.
Oh, just caught on the edge of the event horizon means that we've got an Akshan who's going to get stopped on in the middle of that right there. We do have Kiri trying to run away, but that's going to be the kill picked up by Carrots on Carrots as we have the Boomerang getting a nice bit of damage off right there. War Leader is coming in to save hit the Akshan from Graviel, and it was a great Lantern from Demon Girl. Just that overall, very well done.
Yeah, I like that control there. It looks like, you know, Graviel was trying to save a play that was already dead. Find himself overcommitting on War Leader, who's trying to take Rift Shield, came down. Looks like they might be done. I don't know.
I think they're kind of done. They don't have the burn yet on Lilia, so they aren't able to just completely shred Maiden OP's health bar. Yeah. They will be getting to that point shortly, though. I think that is something that's also kind of cool about this RLS comp is you've got the bleed from Darius and the burn from Lilia. So that just means right off the bat, you've got some major damage over time that is going to completely shred through the tanks. That will be very crucial in these late game team fights, and PTP has got to get ready for that.
Yeah, I think at this point we can say, at least for laning phase, that Anti should be worried about his starting spot. I mean, because honestly, we talk.
Oh, he already is. He's already said that.
we talk a lot about the top being, you know, Anti, Broccoli, Joshi, but where's Kyrie on this? You know, like what? Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where we just haven't had the opportunity to see them get a lot of games in. I'm pretty sure this is only second or third game right now, but they are showcasing their abilities very, very well. Doing a lot of work on this. We do have the Braum on the bot side right there trying to push Demon Girl back, doing a decent job of doing so. Maiden OP getting pulled under tower. Good use of that tower range, just barely able to not get hit by it, and that is going to be Kiri trying to fight this back, kiting it off to the side. That was really well done by both.
Yeah, very, very good exchange of abilities and damage overall. Looks like RLS overall ended up having to agree that this wasn't an optimal fight for them, so kind of backed off and just gave the second dragon of the game over to PTP. It looks like we are looking at yet another Infernal Soul game.
Yep, that is going to be a nice bit of damage that'll be available for both teams. We have a nice fight right here going on. Soul Varden getting a double knock-up right there. He does manage to get Demon Girl. We have RLS's escape standing in front of Demon Girl to protect them from the Caitlyn's ace in the hole, so they don't have to worry about them getting sniped away. Their fight is continuing down there, I think. Not entirely sure. Oh, no, they're just kind of backing off. Sorry, I thought the Caitlyn had engaged on there on the minimap. I do like this up here in the top lane, though. We've got a 3v1 that's happening. We got a Drowsy coming out, so that is going to be a very, very sleepy Yorick right there. That is going to be a good use of the wall, though, to keep the Akshan from being able to get across. However, the Apprehend is going to pull him back. They're going to be shredded apart, and that is going to be a nice kill picked up right there. Although down here we have Graviel, who has caught out Kiri. Kiri is trying to stay alive, doing what they can, but they're not going to be able to do it as Graviel picks up the kill.
Yeah, just really well. I feel like RLS is missing a little bit of communication. I feel like if you're going to flash, might as well flash earlier instead of doing the under tower play. You know, just kind of eliminate that factor, and then you find yourself face to face with an Amumu on your way out. So at least I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Graviel overall. He just seems to be in the right place at the right time, either reading the map or just maybe really good luck. But his ganks are really on point as well.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's like, what, 50% luck, 50% skill, 50% uncontested power of will or something of that nature?
Something like that. I mean, that added up to 100%, so I can't say you're wrong. I think that's how numbers work.
All right. That is how numbers work in my brain on occasion.
I respect it. That was a good ulti. Even if it doesn't, you know, kill here, it probably does force Demon Girl to either evaluate leaving the lane or having, you know, to just play super far back and not be a factor in the next trades.
Mm-hmm. GL Esports has done a really good job of maintaining their spacing so that they're able to get these kills up. They're going 2-0-1 right now, and already like just maintaining the CS with Helios means that they're already ahead. and they're just in a really good spot right there. Good job by Soul Varden to basically shut down Escape's damage right there. We do have War Leader coming in on the side. There's going to be a flash from Esports in order to avoid getting caught by the ball in order to go drowsy. So they are going to be able to disengage from this. War Leader's taking a lot of damage from these headshots on the Caitlyn, and we see Pangu Soul has tried to come in and assist, but unfortunately just was caught out by the Amumu, so he's not able to shred through that completely. Kiri getting caught and getting hit by so many of the ghouls. That is a good use of the Decimate, though. They are able to stay alive, getting a nice bit of lifesteal off of that. We do see that the Maiden is chasing them around, though, so Maiden OP is going for the tower while the Maiden is going for Kiri. And so, unfortunately, that's going to mean that they have to just back off, and they're not able to really protect this tower right now. With the TP down, means they can't continue the engage. Ooh, Pangu, you were right on the edge of that event horizon.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of fighting going on all over the place. I really kind of like what I'm seeing, even though there's no kills. A lot of movements are happening. You know, teams aren't just sitting here, they're not being just reactionary. They are making plays happen. And I really like Maiden OP. Again, despite not getting a kill, forces the Kyrie out of lane, gets the Rift Herald play, gets the first tower, gets a second charge up, but he might have overstayed.
They might have overstayed just a little bit, but they are exceptionally tanky right now, able to stay alive for quite a while. War Leader getting really, really low as they're getting smacked in the face with that shovel. That is going to be the Executioner's guillotine coming down, though, as we see Darius picking up the kill on the Yorick as they are now going 3-2. They are still behind in gold, though, despite the fact that this Yorick has died 4 times.
Yeah, just creating the pressure and the amount of gold he just picked up from collecting 2 towers has to be fantastic, you know, especially only at 15 minutes into the game. That's going to free up some space, and either they can all probably start to do like a 4-1 mid or bot. That'd be good overall. He would give him pressure. The Divine Sunder is going to make that even better on the side, and GL Esports is in a fantastic spot picking up the Kraken Slayer already with the boots and getting the energized shot, so they could quite easily start, you know, snowballing this game if they play it right, especially with Dragon coming up in 15. If they got a 3rd Dragon, it would be really hard for RLS to get a foothold back in this game.
Yep, and unfortunately, if you get caught by an event horizon like that, War Leader, you are going to take a lot of damage, and that means you're going to have to walk away just to stay alive. With this Infernal Drake coming up here in just a moment, it is going to be an opportunity for RLS to force a fight around it, which could end up, as long as they're able to play this right, they're going to have it go in their favor. We see Graviel goes in a little bit early and finds 3 members of RLS waiting for him. The event horizon, though, is going to get dropped over the wall, means that he's going to be taking a nice stun. That is going to be Graviel going down, though, from all of the damage that RLS is able to put out, and they're able to burst down the Drake almost immediately. Good apprehend on Soul Varden as they pull him back. That is going to be the Thresh respawning as Akshan picks up the kill. Karats is going to get really, really low, but he's not going to get executed by the Akshan, which means that he's going to stick around. That was 2 kills and a Drake going for the RLS during that fight, but in the meantime, look at what Maiden's doing.
Yeah, definitely, again, just creating that pressure. Really good on the setup, RLS. Again, if they picked up that 3rd Dragon, it would have been very bad for them, being able to put soul points early on the game. But really good team fight overall, being able to pick up a couple of those kills and getting the revive back on Demon, being able to set up more vision for control is always something that you can't just put a straight gold value on, in my opinion, giving the information for the team to make better decisions. But looks like we'll see exactly if, you know, Yorick can, you know, kind of make up for that difference.
Yep, and unfortunately, War Leader is going to find themselves just a little bit hungrier than they wanted to be as they go into this topside jungle. There's only one little piece of chicken left, and unfortunately, it's not very satisfying. We look down here in the bot lane, though. Soul Varden is trying to get some deep wards off. Demon Girl is going to be able to clear them out, while Helios might be looking for another engage on this Caitlyn. Although in the top lane, we do have Yorick looking for the engage on to Darius, getting a nice bit of damage out, forcing out the flash. That is going to be Kiri having to back off. And then here in the bot lane, the fight's just continuing as we have Graviel getting put to sleep, getting really, really low. And that is going to be a nice hook by Demon Girl in order to just basically CC him to death. And Pangu Soul picks up that kill.
Yeah, I think the best part about that play is just RLS's overall commitment to each other to make a play happen. You know, as soon as the way all comes through, Pangu's like, all right, fine, we're burning that. I'm going to go all in here, gets the flash in, and make sure that kill happens. You know, no one walks away and some awkward things happen. Just putting the play away and making sure that things conclude. So just making, yeah, I'm really liking that pace of RLS, and I hope they keep that up.
Yep, right here we have Solvarden doing a good job blocking a lot of auto attacks. We got the Glacial Fissure coming out. That's going to be a nice knockup onto both of them. However, that's just going to be a lot of... We got a little bit of damage right here. If that ball had been able to hit, the flash hook's going to come out, but we're going to see the nice net shot in order to completely avoid getting caught out. Solvarden blocking all of the damage coming out from Akshan. That was a really good disengage.
Yeah, I would agree. And also the Action swing pivot kind of came with the topper side of that wall, so it made him go like I think a different trajectory than they were anticipating. But overall, I still like the movement. Again, they're not just sitting back; they're not letting things die. They are being proactive and trying to make something happen.
And one thing that's kind of interesting is if you look at the damage Akshan's putting out, there's really not a lot coming out of that boomerang. It's all in his 3-hit passive. So if he's not able to hit his target 3 times, you can see that Veigar just has so much health left over. We haven't seen a lot of work coming out from this Veigar yet. He's had a couple of decent roams, but he's getting really, really strong.
Correct. He is going to be stacking up quite nicely. I think the main reason we're not seeing a lot of damage out of Akshan yet is just that they were a little terrified of the Veigar laning.
Ooh, we got the ghouls jumping right onto Escape. Escape's having to back up, trying to stay alive. Maiden OP's taking practically no damage from that crescendo. The Maiden itself is also just really, really tanky right now. Just sticking around.
Yeah, that thing's only going to get worse too. I think that the health scaling on is just bananas. So it's going to be a problem, especially, just the way that Yorick scales up. If the split pressure continues, I think Kyrie actually overall is balancing very well. It should be able to stop it as long as they're able to close the game at a reasonable time for Maiden OP to,
Yeah, see, the thing is they've kind of got to force... If they force the 4v5, they've got to win the 4v5 very, very quickly, which is going to force Yorick to back off of whatever side lane they're on. Otherwise, that side lane's just going to keep sticking around. We have the hook coming out from Demon Girl. It's going to go a little bit wide as the flash comes out from Karis to keep them alive. The grappling hook, pretty well done to try and get that engage started. I liked what they were planning to do. Now we see that they're just going to move down south, head towards that Yorick.
Yeah, definitely. And you kind of talked about that too, as far as just being decisive to make sure that...
Are we seeing a Baron sneak?
We might be.
I think we are. We got a nice little sneak over here. RLS is kind of aware of the fact that the Baron might be getting taken down. They don't have any vision of it, though, so they're kind of walking in on this blind, and it's just going to get completely bursted out before they have a chance to get over there.
This match is full of surprises. You think it's going one way, and then another. RLS take the dragon fight, but then PTP end up sneaking Baron. So now it looks like we're tied up in dragons. RLS has managed that, but now RLS has to deal with this Baron.
Nice hook right there onto the Veigar. Veigar getting pulled back. He's going to get bursted down, which is what you need to have happen. Get him out of that fight so that you can basically get one of those Barons off the map. That in and of itself is really good, but in the meantime, up in the top lane, Maiden OP is just going to basically destroy this turret all on their own. They don't even need minions there, honestly. We got this 4v4, 4v3 right here in the mid lane. They're flashing back. Akshan is trying to return to go stop this Yorick. In the meantime, you have War Leader taking a lot of damage from Graviel and GL Esports. The Caitlyn just ripping them to shreds with these snipes. There's nothing they can do because the range is just too much, and they're able to hit with these auto attacks. In the meantime, Pangu's trying to hit this Yorick, but just does absolutely nothing to them.
Okay. That was looking real scary there for a minute. Fantastic hook coming through from Demon Girl to get that started and get rid of that zone control that Veigar had. But then Graviel comes through while RLS is trying to back and just creates so much chaos that it stops from completing their backs and really just picks up quite a good amount of kills for them. Maiden OP is able to just keep pushing and secure an inhib for themselves as well. So overall, that was really well done, especially Graviel. I have to tip my hat to that play. It was very smart.
This is a really, really scary pentakill Teemo Please right now because they are just in a position where they can split push super easily. You've got the Yorick with a Baron buff, and you throw him in a side lane once his Maiden comes back up here in probably another minute or so. And it's basically going to mean that he's just got a free wave to push. And if you can't stop that, you've got to send like 3 members to stop him. And there's no way that the rest of RLS is going to be able to respond to whatever push the rest of PTP puts out.
That is true. If he's left unchecked, that's going to be a problem for them. I think overall, if they just were a little less greedy with their backs, they could have completed them and maybe challenged him a little bit more. I think the only player that managed to do that was Demon Girl, but you know, Thresh stopping Yorick sounds pretty close to impossible.
Yep, just a little bit. It's like the damage is one thing, but like the fact that you're just basically dragging around a giant slab of rock is another.
Yeah, it's taking a huge amount of damage from, like, you know, the maiden, and then just the amount of time it take you to clear. It's just not fair.
Akshan getting the angle just slightly off means that he's not going to be able to jump away from the minions completely. He does manage to take them out fairly fast, though, getting a couple of shots off from that grappling hook. In the meantime, we've got a nice siege on this mid lane where the Baron empowered minions are just able to take pot shots at the tower, get some damage off onto it, get it decently low, or start getting it lower. But in the meantime, this Pangu Soul just does nothing. He tickles the Yorick. It's like he's got a feather.
Getting Kraken Slayer now at this point is very good, but the Wits End and Merc Treads isn't going to do much into Yorick at all. So he can clear the wave at least. So that's kind of one way they can challenge him and hopefully do it safely before it happens too much. But it's a rough spot to be in if you're RLS to deal with this.
Hullbreaker Yorick is just so gross. That is the I am going to split push you to death Yorick. Like there's nothing you can do to stop him.
But where's your team, Yorick? What team? You know,
he doesn't need a team. That's the thing.
It's me and Maiden till the end. I think that's what's going through his head. You know.
Mm-hmm.
All right on. Taking in the game state again, we've got Dragon coming up in here in just a minute. We've got a lot of pressure coming in from the side of PTP to keep RLS shoved in their base. That should lead to a fairly easy objective control if RLS doesn't find a way to catch PTP in some type of bad rotation. Otherwise, it's going to be quite a banger of a fight, I would say, at the next Dragon.
Yeah, we're basically going to see, like, you've got that split coming in the top lane right there with all those extra super minions. So those are going to basically force Akshan or somebody to respond to that to keep it from pushing into the Nexus turrets, which means that this Drake should go relatively uncontested here in the next 40 seconds. But at the same time, it's just, RLS is in a really bad spot right now.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You know, just the amount of splitting that's coming out. You know, last time RLS took a fight very quickly and stopped York from being able to push off of that. But also on the flip side, in the last time they took a team fight, they didn't back. So really, that's the thing that's going to clip. Are they going to be able to manage their time in a way that doesn't allow Yorick to win the game? Because at this point, if an inhib's down and you don't check him, you could be seeing a defeat screen.
There is an advantage on the side of RLS where they do have the TP available for Amakshan, but at the same time, they're going to get soul point for PTP as they just, the dragon says hello and they say goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good reference. So again, yeah, looks like they picked up their third dragon, putting themselves on soul point, having RLS really on the back foot, and you know, losing that lead that they did have was very, very rough for them to recover from. If they don't find a way to deal with this, I mean, and let's also talk about GL Esports here. Their Caitlyn play is pretty impressive. They're always playing back. Their CS is phenomenal. Their team fighting positioning is great. So I think it's an overall great pickup for them.
And we can see that Akshan is working on his Lord Dominic's, and he's going to try and be, because he's got a decent amount of tank he's got to try and get through. It's going to be really, really tough, though, because this Yorick is just so darn tanky. And it's not even tanky in the sense of resistances. She's just got so much health.
Yeah, the natural.
Oh no, War Leader about to walk right into this. Oh, that was because that missed. They were poor Demon Girl was able to stay alive, but at the same time, Graviel has split off from this fight. They're going to get taken out, while Demon Girl is going to sacrifice their lives down over on the bot side. Caitlyn picking up that kill over there. They are looking to try and grab this Caitlyn. Pangu looking to be sneaky. He's got the sneak time going. He gets the damage out, but unfortunately, he's not able to do enough quickly enough, and there's going to be a lot put onto him. He's going to have to back away. RLS War Leader, in the meantime, is going to have to flash over the wall. We have the rest of PTP just pushing in on this. The Primordial Burst destroys Lilia instantaneously, and then Escape just takes a shovel to the face and is now unconscious and having to be revived. That's going to be this mid turret going down right here. This could be the final push for game.
There's no way this happens to us twice in a row, right? Like we were just chilling, and now the game's ending.
I think that is exactly what we're about to see right here, because we're going to see the amount of damage coming out onto these Nexus turrets. It's just going to make them go disappear. We see Caitlyn goes dominating, just gets a nice snipe from a headshot right there, and that is going to be the Pet Skill Team Up, please, picking up this win and taking down Restless Leg Syndrome.
Oh, baby. We kind of talked about it a little bit. If there was a game for PTP to take off RLS, it looks like this was a very good formula for them. Just the way that they played overall was really good. This was a side of PTP I don't think we've necessarily seen executing against one of these top teams. Like, just the amount of Caitlyn damage and the Yorick split push, it was too much to handle. I mean, look at those charts.
Yep, that's the thing, is like that Yorick was just doing so much work in the top lane. They ganked him like 3 or 4 times, managed to take him down get 4 kills on him, but at the same time, it didn't end up mattering because he was able to pick up those top 2 turrets. Like, that is just the thing, is Yorick doesn't care if he wins lane. All he needs to do is win by taking your towers.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The amount of gold that he was able to supply to his teammates just from that as well, and the amount of pressure, again, that they lost that mid fight, in my opinion, for RLS when they couldn't get it back in. And I think that was kind of the tipping point. And because of that, yeah, just the work.
Yep, and unfortunately, I think this is one of those games that if you look at the comps, I think I underestimated just how tanky PTP was going to get, and I kind of expected Akshan to be able to do a little bit more damage as this game progressed, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to do so. So Pangusol wasn't able to deal with the Yorick, and that's the Graviel. So that's really where this kind of ended up for me, from my perspective. But I think we got to get over to the interview and see what they have to say about it. So let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. Chris Edgeworth here for our second interview tonight, and I am joined by GL Esports from Pentakill Teemo. Please welcome to the league. This is your first interview. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, glad to be here.
Let's start right there. So how do you find your way here amongst the family of friend or foe? How did you answer the call to join the league?
Well, it called to me. But to be honest, I was actually just looking for some guys to play Flex with. I like playing Flex and Clash. My friends like Clash, they don't like Flex. So Quigs or let's do Vanal had added me and said, "You want to play some games on Jungle?" I said, "Sure." And then I got a message and said, "Hey, you're on the team." And I didn't know I didn't know there was a team. And so then I found out about the FOF League. I actually used to be a part of the House Party 5v5 League, so it's been a pretty good time.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Glad to hear it worked out. Let's talk about this game here. So, what were your thoughts on the draft that you folks pulled out? You were on the Caitlyn in the bot lane. You had this matchup into the Helios. There's some interesting picks in here. What were your thoughts on what you had and what you're up against?
Yeah, absolutely. So today, sometimes on Fridays in office work, you don't have much to do. So I pulled every single game that our opponents have played against, wrote down what they picked, what they banned, win or loss, and what the enemy banned during the losses. I noticed that almost exclusively every loss, Ziggs was taken away, actually every single one. And that was almost the only champion that seemed to have mattered on that one. From there, we just kind of did comfort bans. And we were hoping they'd leave Amumu up because Amumu is our mid lane to transition jungler's favorite champion jungle by a mile. And he's a good champion. We got him, super thrilled. They picked Helios Thrush, and personally, I think Helios is in a really bad spot right now. So the Helios Thrush lane, as long as you don't get hit by a hook, there's not a lot of things, like you can't really kill Caitlyn. And even if you do get hit by the hook, I think I got hit by a hook at like 7 minutes. Brahm's shield pretty much negates all the damage. So we have really good lane control. Into the rest of the draft, they picked Darius. So I think we just finished up our bans to get rid of Xin and Syndra. At that point, with Xin gone, there's not going to be a ton of jungle pressure coming out. They got Lilia, so we got Yorick for Maiden because that's, his name's Maiden. And then we got Vigar into Action. We were pretty surprised about the Action pick. I didn't know how it would fit too well into their comp. I wasn't actually sure what the overall goal of that composition was. But luckily, it allowed us to pretty well be able to 4v5 any objective and have Maiden split push, because they're gonna have to force Darius to TP down if they want to contest with how much CC we have, and then Maiden will just get towers the entire time. And then luckily, the team fights went really, really well. We had good vision for it, stuff like that. So we prepped really well, and then we got almost everything we wanted.
What, in your opinion, where do you think that it was that the game turned in your favor?
Yeah, well, I think as soon as we got that first dragon and we picked up 2 kills on that, that was really good. They blew a lot. We both blew a lot of summoners and ults, but we came out with the dragon and 2 kills. Maiden also, I think, got 1 or 2 towers off of that push alone, which is fantastic. That actually opened up our ability to get that Baron at 23 minutes. I know that was a little bit later, but we have the second dragon. They're going to want to contest that third dragon to make sure we don't have soul point super early. And we had enough damage with the Mumu's, Mumu, Braum, Caitlyn, to get Baron pretty quick. So it was a really easy trade for us.
And that is the final question I wanted to end with was, can you give us some insight on this sneaky Baron play? It was spicy.
Yeah,
we just saw it in the last game too. So what's the idea behind this? You just
so that one specifically, Maiden, he'd been top for a little bit and he couldn't crack. You can't really get into the base with Darius guarding it. So we sent him bot. Braum and I were pretty far ahead. Amumu was hovering topside. And we saw that the third dragon was coming up, right? It's just a 1 Infernal. We could go for soul, but at the same time, we know they're positioning down there. We see where they are. We cleared the wards about 30 seconds ahead of time. So we just went over the wall and went forward. I think they noticed at about 4,000 HP, but they were on the right side of river, so we burned it and backed. And just gave up the dragon because 4%, extra damage is not a big deal when you get a Baron.
Plus, after getting hit around with some wallets, it's nice to be able to get some money in your pocket, so you're going to hit him with your wallet back.
Yeah, absolutely. got to spend the money for sure.
All right. Well, GL Esports, excuse me. Thank you so much for this interview. Congratulations and welcome for your first interview. Before we step away, do you have any final thoughts, any shout outs, or any banter you hadn't had an opportunity to get out on the desk?
You know, I'm gonna shout out the homies. Good job, PTP. We win. The end. I think that's all I got.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Pentakill Teamo. Please, folks, we're going to be back very soon with our third game tonight of this 5-game evening. So stick around for the long haul. We have Rex Regalis versus Gorilla Muffins coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Make 'em see what we Bye.